this stupid piece of shit app because I'm having to use my phone for this. Yes, I'm wearing a fucking Pikachu beanie as well because I couldn't find my Batman one or my solid black one, and my hair is not working with me right now, and I don't have time to fix it because it's currently almost 1 AM and I still have to shower, so yeah. But yeah, so I look like this right now for a video. Yeah, and that's a thing, so okay. There's hair in my mouth. Okay. So, random topic I've been meaning to do. Yes, I'm wearing contacts. Get used to it. I wear them quite a bit. I went to go see Secret Life of Pets today, and I was like, hey, you know, I feel like wearing Manson contacts today. You know, these are bothering me. But, okay. Anyway, getting to the video. I'm doing the transgender furry tag, I guess you could call it. I don't know if this is a legit thing or not. But there's somebody who I watch on Furaffinity, and they made this thing saying that they're making this documentary about transgender furries because they themselves are a transgender furry. I'm probably gonna get shit for this because I get told a lot that I'm not transgender because I don't work very hard. Excuse me, but a binder is really all that I could do right now. I'm 16. I don't have a job yet. I can't afford very much. So, I mean, you gotta work with me here. I try. Although there's other people that say I do look like a guy, and so, I mean, it's mixed opinions on it. But anyway, getting to it, I have a list on my phone. You can't see that worth of shit, but it's a list full of questions for the tag. So, that's what I'm gonna be following right now, and this video is probably gonna be long as hell, because I've already spent 2 minutes like every other fucking YouTuber. Anyway. Alright, first question. What is a furry to you, or what does it mean to be a furry? Okay, my honest opinion with this, I talk with my hands a lot by the way. My honest opinion with this is that a furry is somebody who has an interest in anthropomorphic animals, and you know, just that simple, basically. You don't have to own a fursuit to define yourself as a furry. It's just if you have that sort of interest, obviously you don't have to consider yourself that, but if you have a very high passion towards it, and you know, it's just somebody who has an interest in that, a very serious interest to where they create their own character and stuff like that, whether it means going as far as getting a fursuit, or just getting a kigurumi, or getting a jacket, or a fucking plushie, or even just having artwork, makes you a furry. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You don't have to get anything. You don't have, like, just if you have a persona or you even have the slightest interest in them, that's what defines you as furry, in my opinion. So that's the first question. How did you discover or find out furries? My first kind of thing that kind of led me towards it, I was about, I want to say 13, not too long ago. About 13, and I was scrolling through, no, it must have been younger than that, I must have been about 10, where I found this video. It was of Scrat the Kangaroo, also known as Killian Cray. He's a very nice guy. I've spoke to him before. He's really cool. Him and his boyfriend are really sweet. Yeah, that was my first video I ever saw of him, and it was him at Walmart. Like, that's literally the only video that can come to mind when I think about that, because, I don't know, other than that, I kind of used to just see him pop up, and then once I saw that, I was like, I need to know what this fluffy thing is. This fluffy piece of pride and joy. And so I would look up fursuit opening videos, fursuit parades, I figured out what Anthrocon was, you know, I figured out all this cool stuff. And, yeah, that's just kind of how I figured it out. What is the fandom like to you, or how does it come off to you? I have mixed feelings about that. It's really cool, you know, I get accepted by a lot of people for it. It's probably the nicest group of people I've ever been a part of, honestly. I've been in it for a good 3 years, which seems very shocking. I joined it when I was 13, I made my first persona, I wanted to get a fursuit instantly, but obviously I still have not, so I made that good decision. No, but I have mixed opinions on that, because like every other fandom, it has its weird people, and that's just kind of the people I kind of push away. That's why I don't press browse on Furaffinity. And people here who have Furaffinity know my pain. They know what I go through. But other than that, there's some people who actually are weird at first, but once you get past the weird, and you get used to that. That weirdness makes them that better of a person and of an individual. You can make very good and long life friends in this fandom, it seems. It's like a very popular thing. People meet in the fandom and then in like 10 years they've known each other. It's just a really nice fandom to be a part of, in my opinion. It gets so much shit for what it is, and because of all the rumors that spread around from TV shows, from news reports, and all this other bullshit that gets spread around. None of it's true. Well, some of it may be, but yeah, it's just one of the nicest groups that, you know, I've been a part of, and I never want to leave. I have no reason to. Who is your favorite artist, and add why you like them? I don't really know. There's a lot of artists that I really, really like. I don't know. I guess one would just have to be 8-Bit Paws, I guess. If you guys know who she is, I can try and go to my Furaffinity right now and see who I have as like my favorites and stuff. Zombietronics, who should be my friend, or also known as Zeltix right now. Let's see. Oh my gosh, Definite is Sakune. Sakune is a really awesome artist. I love them. I love Malachi, aka AJ, German Shepherd, if you know him, excuse me, pronouns. I like Mollybat 343. They've done some art for me, and I'll just say Melissa. The reason why I like these individuals with their art is just simply because it's very unique. Each of their styles are very different, yet similar in a sense. All that applies to every artist. Like, if you draw realistic, you're gonna draw very similar to other people who draw realistic, but at the same time, people want to commission you, not the other, because whether it's your prices are cheaper, or it's mainly because you have your own style on it. So that's why I like them. I like a handful of others. That's kind of why you make a favorite artist list, but yeah, you know, I just kind of like them simply because they are very original with their work, yet similar to other artists who I also enjoy. So that's, yeah. What do you think about furries that use other media? Examples: Vine, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. I think that's awesome. I really, really do. Because it, I don't know, it just spreads around, I guess, the fandom, I guess. I don't really know. I just think it's really nice, though, because it doesn't keep it to just simply one area. Because if furries were just simply around Furaffinity, I wouldn't have known. You know, it's kind of a lot harder, because in order to get on Furaffinity, you kind of have to know about the fandom first. You can't just, like, come up on this website like, oh, what is that? Alright. You know, a lot of people figure it out through YouTube, and I mean, yes, you could live in Pittsburgh, in an area full of, that's, you know, other conventions, but those conventions wouldn't have exploded as much as they have probably without the internet. So, I think that's really awesome, because it really, it gives them themselves, I guess, a lot more recognition. It gives the fandom a lot more recognition, and it just makes it a lot easier for more individuals to come in and realize who we actually are and stuff like that. Of course, what comes with joining the fandom means understanding the dark side as well, but, you know. How do you feel about furries that suit in public? I think that's actually really cool. I mean, it takes a lot of guts to do that, but at the same time, it's like you're in a suit, they don't know who's under there, so they could judge you all they want, but they're not insulting you. Personally, I guess, they're insulting, in their opinion, some weirdo, but at the same time, I've seen so many videos where it's like their first fursuit outing, and they're going out, they're getting so many, like, walk-ups from little kids and stuff like that, like, oh my gosh, what is that thing? I want to touch it. That's what I want to do. When I get, when I get my fursuit, that's what I want to do. That's the first thing I want to do, is go out in public. I don't give a shit what my parents say. I'm going out in public with a friend of mine, and probably my boyfriend, I guess, I don't know, but I'm going out with somebody, and I'm walking around the street. I'll be looking like the biggest weirdo ever, but I'm going to walk around the mall or something, because it's fun. It gives you a first-hand experience of what it's like to walk around a convention, to walk around at a fursuit meet, like go to a fursuit meet, stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier, and it helps you get more comfortable with your suit, I guess, in my opinion, and it helps you get more comfortable with what it's like to be a fursuiter. So I think that's really cool. Who is your dream fursuit maker? Personally, I have many, but I don't know really. I kind of have a huge interest in making my own, obviously buying a base from somebody probably, but I don't really want to get one from a specific maker because I want to make it look original. I don't want to look like a bunch of, like, just one giant crown, like Mischief Makers, 8-bit, I guess. Just what those big companies, I don't want to look very distinct to that company and notice, like, oh, that's their suit. Yes, it'd be really cool to be recognized, like, oh my gosh, cool, another suitor, you know, that's different, it's a different design, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, I kind of want to look original. I want it to look good, per se, yes, very much so, but I want it to look, like I said, original. I want it to look different. I want it to stand out in a sense, and not fit with an individual group, you know, so. What is your dream suit like? I don't really know. I kind of have a huge interest in digigrade because, I don't know, it just, being also that almost all of my personas are feral, minus, Cade, but being that they're primarily feral, I kind of would want to implicate that, into my fursuit by making it, digigrade, because it adds that feral type form, in a sense. So I don't know, that's kind of really what I want. I hate talking in camera, I'm sorry. But that's kind of really what I want because it just makes it so much better. But other than that, really, I just kind of want a cute suit, I guess. I don't really know what more to say. What do you think it's like to unbox a fursuit and wear it for the first time? I feel like that'd be like the best experience ever. Me personally, like my friend is getting her fursuit in the mail tomorrow from an individual who I actually might commission because their prices are like dirt cheap and they give you the quality that you pay for. And I'm not saying it's like 20 bucks for a head and you get garbage. I'm saying like it's only like 400 bucks for a partial. That's not a lot. For mine, I think it was about $570, I think, for each character because mine are kind of complex in a sense. But you get what you pay for. I've seen other makers that charge like $6,000, no, not $6,000, like $600 for just a head itself. And yes, it takes a lot, but there's no way it's gonna cost that much money for the supplies. Yes, it takes a while, but I just don't get that sometimes. The quality may be amazing. I can understand that so much for a realistic suit. But $600 for a simple tuning suit that looks very similar to other makers doesn't make any sense to me. But unboxing it for the first time I feel would be absolutely amazing. That's what I want to do, is make an unboxing video and like show my reaction and stuff. I would probably cry. But I feel like it's really amazing because you're finally opening this box to this item that you've been saving up, might have been years for. And it's been your dream item since you were a kid, since you first joined the fandom, and you're finally opening this box, this one box you've wanted for so long. And it's like opening the gates to freaking utopia or something. So I feel it'd just be absolutely wonderful and amazing. It's the biggest moment to have. Would you ever consider fursuit dancing or competing in other related activities in your suit? If you're good at it or not. Dance competition? Maybe. I don't know. That's something I would really, really, really have to contemplate about because I'm not a dancer in any way, shape, or form, but there's a lot of people that say that fursuits make a difference. So I don't know. I'd probably have to consider that. I don't know. We'll see. But other activities like fursuit games, stuff like that, definitely. That seems so fun. Yeah. What are the biggest struggles you have, or do you think would have, when trying to explain that fursuiting is to the public? What fursuiting is to the public? I don't know. I think it'd be quite easy, really. Sorry, trying to situate myself because my leg is falling asleep. I think it'd be quite easy, actually, because I know that, yeah, it's quite foreign. You're walking around in an animal costume. That's really weird. But, I mean, I don't know. You can just, I would just kind of explain it as it is, really. That's kind of what I do when people ask if I'm a boy or a girl. I just kind of explain, well, you know, I'm transgender. I'm female to male transgender, and I identify as a boy, so I would prefer if you were to call me that, and that'd be wonderful. I would prefer you to call me as the name I go by, blah, 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 blah. No, but I would say it as it is. You know, fursuiting is dressing up in an animal costume of the character you created, known as a fursona. You know, and what comes with a fursona is being a part of the furry fandom, which is a group of individuals who have an interest in anthropomorphic animals, which is an animal with human characteristics, talking, walking, etc. I would say it as it is. If they have any questions from there asking for any more detail, I would do so. Trying to scroll down. Has the furry community affected your views on gender, sexuality, etc. at all? I mean, I guess. The only way I can think of, because simply it's, I guess, kind of made it feel more accepting, because obviously within the fandom there are a lot of individuals who are of multiple different sexualities. Plenty of people who are bisexual. I've known so many people in this fandom that are gay, lesbian, list goes on. Obviously there are straight people, and there are plenty of transgender furs, which I find wonderful, because it helps me fit into a group. And there's also plenty of Therians as well. Yes, that is not a gender, but still, it makes you feel accepting so much. It makes you feel accepted for so much in a so much easier way. I cannot speak, but you get accepted really, really easily simply due to that, because there's so many different individuals, and within that you find so many people who have the same interests as you. It just makes things so much easier for everybody, and I just love that. So it has affected it. It has made it much easier to both accept myself and kind of accept the fact that I'm not alone. Obviously I knew I wasn't, but we all have those moments where we just kind of sit there thinking that we are. It's typical depression moments. Lovely days. But yeah, it has affected it. It's made it much easier to accept it. It's made it much easier to kind of get through the struggles that I go through, because I know that other people go through it as well. And I know I can go to these people if I have questions, if I have curiosities, this, that, or the other. What types of props might you want for a suit, or what is your opinion on fursuit props? Props I would want for a suit would be, I don't know, probably, I guess, I'll do my individual one, probably just a bone, I guess, really. I wouldn't really want much, because you have to carry that thing around all over the place. The only thing I can think of is, like, for, yeah, I wouldn't really want much, really, because my characters, like, for example, Freak is in, you guys probably haven't seen him. Yes, you have, in the, speed paint, but, I probably wouldn't want much for him, because simply I would walk around looking like I'm some demon, but, you know, I wouldn't want really anything for him, because him himself is creepy. He doesn't need a prop to look any better. Dustin, I'd probably want a bone, I guess. I mean, again, you know, he's himself, so I mean, there's nothing really too fancy about him. Let's see. For Mason, who you guys have no idea who that is, Mason, I would probably just want a bone again. He's just a white husky wolf mix, I guess you could say. And I guess a guitar, I don't know, because he has a Guitar Hero necklace and stuff like that, so I don't know, something for him. And then for Kaden, my hyena, probably just a zebra leg, thigh, whatever. This video is getting so long, I'm so sorry. What is it like being a trans furry? I mean, I guess it kind of can make it a bit difficult in a way like it does in the normal world. I mean, being a furry is a furry no matter your gender. It just kind of gets you a little upset when you create all these personas and stuff and you post one picture of yourself. I have a couple pictures of me in my scraps. And some of them are old pictures of me when I have long brown hair that goes like down to here and it looks so pretty and gorgeous. But, you know, I just kind of have those pictures, and so there's people that, it's very few people, very, very few people, but they ask me saying, like, why do you have, you know, male, this, that, or the other, and especially it applies to my parents, really, because I know I'm a furry, but this happened a while back. My mom had locked up the computer from me for some reason. I didn't know why, but I asked her, and she said, because you have this stuff on the computer. I said, what do you mean? And she was saying, like, you know, the furry stuff you have, blah, 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 you're not a boy. My mom's never been supportive about it. That'll be in a totally different video about explaining me being transgender as a whole. But, I don't know, really, she just kind of told me, like, I had to explain to her that this is my character and that I don't think I'm a boy, which kind of hurt to say. But that's just kind of the biggest struggle, is kind of people asking me why my character's a boy when I don't look like one, or why I identify as a different pronoun than what I am, and stuff like that. That's kind of the only issue that I have, but other than that, there's a lot of people that just kind of address me as Dustin, and the only issue that they have is, I remember I was in the live stream and there's a couple people in there that actually do watch my videos, and they asked, aren't you a girl? And I said, no, I'm transgender, I identify as male. I'm just like, oh yay, I'm so sorry. And there's a couple people that do forget, and I don't blame them for that, because sometimes I don't go into the streams every day, and sometimes they don't watch my videos all the time, and I don't make videos like this all the time, which I really need to. But they just kind of forget, and that's not the big deal, but the biggest deal is when people do it on purpose, and they know that I'm transgender, and yet they still address me as a she, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not that big of an issue. But again, this whole topic about being transgender in general will be a totally different topic. If you could give advice to anyone who is interested in the furry fandom or is already in the fandom, what would it be? Okay, if you're about to join the fandom and you're really interested after what I have said, I just want to give a fair warning to anybody, really. First off, I'm going to start out with kids. If you are below the age, okay, yes, I am 16, fair enough, I shouldn't be calling anybody kids, really. But primarily, there are a lot of adults, and if you are not adult-like per se when it comes to not really personality, but attitude-wise, if you don't have an adult-like attitude, and yeah, if you're just immature, I'll state that it's not the best place to be unless some of your friends are in it. That's wonderful, though, is if you're in the fandom, it adds a lot more members, and that's what we want. It is. But it's not a place for children per se. It's really not. It's full of adults, and what comes with adults is adult content, and adults like adult content. I'm not saying people like me don't like adult content, but it's not meant for kids that are like, I don't know, 12 years old, 10 years old, like whenever I first joined. I, of course, did not know anything about that when I was that old. I didn't discover it until I was about 14. But still, I didn't start until 14, 15, actually. But anyway, if you were to discover that at a young age, it's going to make you want to leave instantly. But you got to understand it's going to be there. This is a fandom primarily revolved around adults. Every convention has drinking, has this, that, or the other, because it's primarily revolved around adults. At conventions, you will even find booths that have books. What are those books sometimes? Adult books. It's just what happens, because it is a fandom primarily revolved around adults. They will allow anybody in the fandom, but again, adults. So you have to understand that. You have to meet the part when it comes to your maturity, to your attitude, everything else, because if you're going to be a younger fur, such as myself, say I'm 16 years old. Most of my friends, though, are like in their 20s, because I'm very mature, and like for most, yes, anybody can say it's because you're a girl and girls mature faster. While that may be true, guys can mature just as fast if they really allow them, if they really just kind of control themselves with who they hang out with. I'm just saying. But it's just kind of something you really need to consider once again. You really need to keep yourself together and make sure you're mature about everything. Don't get upset if an adult's telling you nicely that you can't get a commission from it. Like, that's just over the line. Okay, it just really is. Another thing about younger furries is don't get a fursuit. I'm not going to state that because, like, every single furry has stated that. Do not get a fursuit. You don't need it. You don't need it till you're, like, in your 20s. Yes, I want one now, but I'm getting a head and probably paws, and I'm getting a tail from my friend who's making me it. I'm not getting a bodysuit. Again, though, you don't need a fursuit, so don't get it. They're too expensive as well. If you're getting it from a friend, that's wonderful, but again, you don't need it. Really, you don't. Anyone who is in the fandom, I just kind of want to say this. I'm not picking names at all, but the drama needs to cut down with some people. Tracing artwork needs to go away. That probably never is, but anything really is just kind of common sense to say to individuals in the fandom that a lot of you who are in the fandom know about. You already know what most of it is, and so I don't need to repeat it, but, you know, yeah, that's kind of really all. This was really, really, really long, about going in to be 26 minutes, but, yeah, it's just kind of something I've been meaning to do, but I've just been forgetting, and I look like shit doing it right now. I would look much better, and I'm wearing a cute little Pikachu one, so I hope you guys enjoyed, I guess. I hope to make more of these videos. I just really need ideas. That was a bad idea. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. What have I done? Anyway, I really need ideas for videos because I can't think of anything to do. Like, stuff like this. It's been sitting in my notes on my computer, and I've been meaning to do it, but I never have. I still have a couple of videos that I know about, which is transgender video, explaining my entire story, so that's probably going to be a really long video, just warning. And the Therian video, which is what I meant to do first, but so I kind of, but yeah, I'll do a Therian video that involves this and this thing, and yeah, so that's kind of what's on the way. But yeah, I really, 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 really need ideas for videos, because playing AnimalJam, answering questions, and crying over getting scammed is not good content. I don't know if you know. It's not good content to get subscribers. And I just realized I'm getting up to 30 subscribers, which does not sound like a lot. That's really, really good considering the crap that I post. So I'm really happy about that. But yes, thank you guys so much for almost 30 subscribers. Again, not a lot, but I got like 500 views. That's good, that's good. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm so sorry it was so long. I hate doing these long videos, I really do. Because you're probably going to skip around, but again, yes, I really hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the long video. I love you guys so, so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever it may be. Have a good night.